They say the past should stay written in memories. But what if just once you wanted to write it on your skin, not as a scar, but as a symbol of freedom? They say tattoos are for the young, a flash of rebellion, a moment of wildness. But maybe you've wondered, late at night, when the house is quiet, is it really too late to mark a story that's yours and yours alone? This video isn't about regret or rebellion. It's about rediscovery, about what a tattoo truly means after 60. Because at this age, it's not about shouting who you are. It's about quietly honoring everything you've lived through. Let's discover together why a tattoo, now, isn't a statement to the world, but a beautiful conversation with the remarkable woman you've become. I sometimes think our skin is like a diary, written by time, by laughter, by the things we've endured. And for women like us, every line, every mark tells a story. I remember when I was a young woman, and maybe you do too. Tattoos was something, well, almost forbidden. They belonged to sailors and rebels, people on the fringes of society. And so, for many of us, any quiet desire for one was tucked away, saved for another lifetime. But oh, how the world has changed. A recent study from the Pew Research Center found that about 16% of baby boomers in America now have at least one tattoo. But behind every number, there's a story. A woman somewhere who finally said, "Why not now?" Maybe after retirement, or after raising her children, she decided it was time to do something that was only hers. As the years go by, you learn that real rebellion isn't about shouting at the world. It's about finally being quiet enough to listen to yourself. When we're young, a tattoo often says, "This is who I am." But as we grow older, it becomes something gentler. "This is what I've lived through." One is a declaration, the other a celebration. And the stories told in ink are often the most profound. Stories of love, of loss, and of the incredible strength we find within. I have a dear friend who is a breast cancer survivor. After her recovery, she got a small phoenix tattooed near her scar, rising in flight. When she told me that, I realized something. Strength isn't about having no scars. It's about the grace to turn them into art. And yet, not every story shouts of survival. Some stories whisper. It might be a single, delicate rose on the wrist, the very same kind her late father used to grow in his garden. A way of keeping him close, always. It reminds me of what the great Maya Angelou said. People will forget what you said. People will forget what you did. But people will never forget how you made them feel. That line always moves me. Because in a way, every tattoo is a small promise that we won't forget how it felt to love, to lose, or to begin again. And that's why, when you choose a symbol, it should come from your heart, not a magazine. The most beautiful tattoo isn't about the perfect lines. It's about the perfect story behind them. I truly believe every one of us has a memory that deserves to be honored. If you could capture one of your most precious memories in a single symbol, what would it be? A beautiful tattoo begins with a beautiful story. And maybe that story begins right here, with you remembering what truly matters. And once you've found the symbol that's worthy of that story, the next step, and the most delightful one, is turning it into an elegant work of art on your skin. There's a lovely kind of freedom that comes with this age. A freedom from expectations, and more importantly, a freedom to finally say yes to the quiet wishes we once set aside. This body has spent a lifetime caring for others. Now, at last, it's mine to cherish, to adorn in my own way. I have a friend, a retired teacher, who has always loved the scent of lavender. On her 65th birthday, she got the most delicate sprig of it tattooed on her ankle. She told me it was her daily reminder that this is my time. And when she told me that, I just smiled. That's the beauty of this age, isn't it? You don't need anyone's permission anymore, just your own. And sometimes a tattoo can become this surprising sweet bridge between generations. My granddaughter and I got tiny, matching tattoos of the constellation Cassiopeia, our own little sparkling secret. A sprig of lavender, a tiny constellation. They're not just decorations, they're reminders that beauty can be quiet and that connection can span generations. Freedom, I've learned, doesn't always come with noise. Sometimes it arrives quietly, like the courage to do something just for yourself, and that grace is the very heart of elegance. So, here are a few secrets I've learned along the way. First, placement is the key to subtlety. Think of those graceful, quiet places. The inside of your wrist, behind your ear, along the collarbone, or on the ankle. The beauty is in the quiet discovery. I still remember the first time I saw my own little tattoo on my wrist in the morning light. So small, but it felt like the start of a new chapter. Second, quality is paramount. I remember how nervous I was before getting mine, but finding an artist who understood my skin, my story, that made all the difference. Mature skin has less elasticity, which simply means that choosing the right artist isn't just about aesthetics. It's about safety and a deep respect for your body. Take your time. Look at their work. It's a choice worth making with care. And the final principle, which I believe is the most important, elegance is intentional silence. As the great Coco Chanel once said, simplicity is the keynote of all true elegance. We don't need to shout to be heard anymore. At this age, a single quiet mark is enough to say, I am still here. Peaceful, strong, and beautiful in my own way. For so long, I measured beauty by how others saw me. But now I realize it's about how I feel when I see myself. When was the last time you did something just for the joy of it? Because in the end, a tattoo isn't about the ink or the skin. It's about a feeling. The feeling of being seen, of being cherished, of being whole. And if it makes you smile every time you see it, then it is a perfect work of art. And so, in the end, a tattoo after 60 isn't about looking younger or trying to be rebellious. It's a quiet testament to a soul that has no age. It isn't just another line in your story. It's a signature on the life you've beautifully authored. Because it isn't just ink, and it isn't just memory. It's a quiet promise to keep living beautifully, no matter what chapter you're in. Perhaps a tattoo doesn't truly change you. Perhaps it simply helps you to finally see the remarkable, resilient woman who was there all along. When women share their stories, something beautiful happens. We remind each other that courage has no age. So I would love to hear yours. Whether you have a special mark already or are just beginning to dream of one, please feel welcome to share it in the comments. If you'd like to keep exploring these stories of strength, beauty, and self-discovery, I'd love for you to be part of our circle. You can join us by subscribing, and together, we'll keep celebrating life, one story at a time. Thank you for your time, and for listening with your heart. Until next time, take care of yourself, and keep living your story with grace.